pleasure to invite on stage our Chief Technology Officer, Julien Mout. Julien, l'honneur est à toi.
Thank you, Nicholas, and thank you all for joining us in Vancouver. It feels great to be on this stage again. This year, the stage is a bit smaller, but we have a much larger display, and that must be because we have amazing technology updates and product announcements to share with you today. The team is as excited as I am to show you what we've been working on. But before we look at where we are today, let's take a quick look at where we've been, and more importantly, where we are going. Over the last 40 years, we have created and assembled a portfolio of products that helps engineers better design, build, and operate infrastructure around the world, supporting how they create and protect a better quality of life for all of us. Our portfolio is broad, the applications are deep and domain-specific. The value of combining and extending them to address a complex problem is undeniable. As we introduced the iTwin platform, we embarked on a journey to connect and integrate our products and capabilities. But instead of creating point-to-point integrations, where connections are often broken, or relying on importing and exporting files, where data is frequently lost, we decided to integrate our products using a platform, where data is created and consumed in a common format, where domain-specific expertise is retained and applied to insights. This platform is not only for us to integrate our products, it is also designed to help our users connect data from other systems and to power a rich ecosystem of valuable solutions. As we started developing that platform, we realized something very important. The data that is created or collected during the life of a project is very valuable over the whole lifespan of an infrastructure asset. Our users must ensure that this data, their data, remains accessible for decades to come. And we believe this is only possible with a truly open approach. And to us, an open approach means using open standards where everybody that was granted access to the data can read and understand it. Embracing open source where leveraging that data is approachable to every developer out there. And exposing open APIs, where our users are free to take their data out instead of just being able to query it if they ever decide to do so. It means a broad open data ecosystem, free from proprietary formats, where our users are free to leverage the data they need, wherever it comes from, whether Bentley or third-party sources. Openness, therefore, is a key requirement for any capability or enhancement we are adding to the iTwin platform. Geospatial context is one of those enhancements. Indeed, as the concept of digital twin matured, we've confirmed that a 3D geospatial view is the most intuitive and natural way to consume information about an asset. Now, fast forward to today and our recent acquisition of Cesium. By bringing Cesium into Bentley, we can deliver rich 3D geospatial context and data to infrastructure. I suppose many of you in the room know here that Cesium has been at the forefront of creating and establishing an open platform to create powerful 3D geospatial applications and powering a rich ecosystem of those applications. Its 3D Tiles open standard has been widely adopted by leading organizations in our industry and beyond. And its open source offerings have been downloaded more than 10 million times. And that number keeps growing quickly. Cesium's success exemplifies the value of having an open approach. Bentley and Cesium have a shared DNA when it comes to innovation and openness. And together, we are going to deliver the most comprehensive digital platform for the built and natural world to developers and infrastructure professionals. So I'm very excited to invite on stage a colleague of my own heart, and please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Cesium's founder and our new Chief Platform Officer, Patrick Cozy. Patrick. Welcome to the stage. Welcome to Year in Infrastructure. What are your impressions so far?
Hey, Julian. So I've heard about YII for many years, and this is my first one, and well, it's amazing. Thank you for having me.
I agree. I remember my first memories of YI, and I was quite impressed indeed. So, you and I have met a lot of teams over the past 4 to 5 weeks. How do you feel the teams are coming together?
So it's everything is what I hoped it to be. So Cesium fits like a glove with Bentley. 2 thoughts. The first is on the shared culture. When you think of the scale and the reach of Bentley, yet our long-term commitment to innovation, as well as this very important commitment to openness, Cesium feels right at home. The second thought is on the platform itself. It's the same story, but told from 2 different perspectives. With Bentley, we've focused on infrastructure, we've added geospatial context, and then subsurface with Sequent. With Cesium, and I'll talk more about this later this morning, we started with analysis and visualization for aerospace, and then guided by the open source community, we found geospatial, we found subsurface, we found undersea, and of course, we found infrastructure. And now we bring together iTwin and Cesium to build the open platform for the natural and built environment to help advance digital twins. It's going to be great.
I agree. So it's good synergies we have here. But what does this mean for the existing Cesium community of users and developers?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So the Cesium community, they're fantastic. We have bootstrap startups, venture-backed startups, large enterprise IT organizations, universities, federal governments. They're doing really important work, and it's up to us to be good stewards of that ecosystem. So when we were talking about Cesium potentially joining Bentley, Keith Bentley asked me, he said, well, Patrick, what do you think the community would think if Cesium joined Bentley? Bentley's only interested if you think the community would be interested. And just Keith asking me that, I said, that's just one of the many reasons why this is going to be great. In terms of the value that we'll bring to the community, well, first is the scale of Bentley now using and then contributing to the open source projects that Cesium started. Cesium.js for 3D geospatial visualization on the web, the Cesium plugins for Unreal, Unity, and NVIDIA Omniverse. Second is Bentley's scale, but also our domain knowledge facilitating the advancement of open standards like 3D tiles, the OGC community standard. And then finally, look at all the great open source work that Bentley's already done with iTwin, the iTwin clients for visualization and user interfaces. Bringing those, along with the cloud services from iTwin to the Cesium community, it's going to be great for them.
Yeah, it's opening new horizons for that whole Cesium community, which is great. So as I've mentioned, you're a new Chief Platform Officer. Congratulations again. What are your plans and priorities in this new role?
So Julian, number 1 priority for me is to listen, both within Bentley to our colleagues, but also externally with the community. That includes everyone here at YII, folks on GitHub, on the community forum, on social media. When you look at Cesium and the vision, it's really the observation of the community's vision. Right? We produced open source software, we engaged authentically in the community, we listened, we used that to then advance the platform for the collective success of the ecosystem, and we earned our adoption based on merit. As we bring iTwin and Cesium forward together, we want to use that same ethos. Now, for what we can do, geez, I mean, it's quite limitless, right? Imagine these cloud-based end-to-end workflows, or maybe I have photos coming off of a drone, and I can bring that into iTwin Capture to get the reality model. Then I can bring it through AI analytics to detect features like cracks, and then bring it through a 3D tiling pipeline to produce that 3D tiles open standard, then disseminate that into any of the Cesium runtimes. Right? And then think about how we can help the community advance these open standards. When we first met, we both were talking about the future for 3D tiles, and it was like I was talking to myself, talking to you. Right? We can add voxels for volumetric visualization for subsurface. We can add Gaussian splats for higher visual quality for point clouds. We can do temporal tiles to help show the change in the construction site over time. It's going to be great.
Those sounds like good plans and wise words, right? So I'm sure this will benefit the Cesium community and our users, and it's really an exciting time to have you and the Cesium team on board.
So Julian, thank you. And before I come off stage, I wanted to let you know, of course, Cesium has joined Bentley to advance Bentley's vision and Bentley's business. But in doing so, I feel we're also advancing Cesium's vision. I want to thank you for that.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
This is such a massive acceleration for our respective roadmaps, and I can't wait for Patrick to tell you more in his session later this morning. As Nicholas mentioned, Cesium's platform and application is not the only geospatial capabilities we're bringing to Bentley. And to tell you more about that and this new strategic partnership with Google, I'd like to invite Yael Maguire to the stage, Vice President and General Manager of Google Maps Platform and Geosustainability. Welcome, Yael. Yael, thank you for joining us. Welcome to Year in Infrastructure. We're happy to have you here.
Thanks, Julian. I'm happy to be here. It's great to be here.
Cool. So this morning, can you tell us a bit more about your role at Google first?
Yeah. So a bit about me. My teams are passionate, really passionate about helping developers, enterprises, and cities build powerful experiences with our mapping data. Google has spent the last 2 decades building a comprehensive and up-to-date map of the world. It includes everything like live traffic, street view, and immersive experiences to finding information about millions of places. We package this rich information about the world in Google Maps and make it available to an entire ecosystem of developers and cities so that they can accomplish their goals and reach their own customers in new ways. All of this information is available in Google Maps Platform and in products like Google Earth and Google Earth Engine, which help researchers and organizations track and measure changes on the Earth's surface.
Very impressive. So this morning we've talked a lot about openness, and I know Google is a big supporter of open approaches. Can you tell us a bit more about your commitment to openness at Google?
Absolutely.
And your teams?
Yeah. So at Google, our mission is to make information about the world accessible and useful for businesses, developers, and cities. So here are a few ways we do this. So let's take transportation. The world is constantly in motion. Trains and buses come and go, and schedules change. To reflect this ever-changing information in our maps, we leverage a standard we helped to create, the General Transit Feed Specification, which is an open standard in order to bring up-to-date information around transportation to users. I use this myself every week in San Francisco. So another example is Google Earth Engine, which I mentioned earlier, helps researchers and organizations track and measure changes in the Earth's surface. It includes a global catalog of petabytes of open information like surface temperature, weather, and land cover. The Earth Engine user community has leveraged these data sets to do amazing and impactful things. So as an example, SC Johnson used Earth Engine to create a publicly accessible and predictive model for mosquito populations in the United States. And this is publicly accessible. And then my favorite, of course, is 3D tiles. So I hope you all remember when Google Earth first launched and you could swoop into canyons and city skyscrapers. So now developers can take that breathtaking realism directly into enterprise applications using photorealistic 3D tiles from the Google Maps platform. And in order to deliver our 3D rich content to help businesses in a wider class of industries build powerful experiences, we adopted the 3D tiles open standard. We've integrated this into Cesium, which will bring the power of 3D context to more users in the infrastructure industry.
I love it. And it's amazing to see all the great applications that have already been developed using those 3D tiles. You know, many developers in the Cesium community already know what they can do with that, but maybe for the Bentley users, our community in there, can you tell us a bit more how Google is actually using that technology in some of your products already today?
Sure, sure. So first off, photorealistic 3D tiles format is also used in Google Earth. And this is using a widely adopted standard from the Open Geospatial Consortium, created by none other than Cesium. And adopting the standard has unlocked a new level of rapid innovation and product development for various product and engineering teams. Now, we have our 3D imagery available for over 2,500 cities and 49 countries. We offer this to an ecosystem powered by Cesium, including Cesium.js, Unreal, Unity, and NVIDIA Omniverse. So developers can use Cesium Ion to combine their own 3D geospatial data to build richer infrastructure, planning, and design experiences within this Google 3D context. We can't wait to see what the Bentley user community is going to do with this rich information.
Indeed, indeed. So at Google, you've also created this digital twin of planet Earth, right?
Yes.
And you've mentioned earlier all of those data sets that are being made available to Google Earth Engine. And we can see the potential of bringing all of that data into different products. What do you see? Can you talk about the rich 3D geospatial context and how that data can be used in Bentley products and ecosystem?
Yes, thanks. So we're excited about the opportunity. First, we have a fresh, rich, up-to-date model of the world that we offer to more than 1 billion users worldwide. That's done through Google Maps and Waze, and we make this available now for developers, cities, and automakers through our Google Maps platform. We believe the map is alive. This is about 250 million places around the world, in over 250 countries, millions of buildings that are mapped. We provide live traffic information, details about air quality and pollen, and even rooftop solar potential on hundreds of millions of buildings worldwide. Immersive experiences are at the forefront of the work that we do with 3D tiles, and we want developers to create breathtaking, immersive, photorealistic experiences in the world. It can transform workflows for architects, engineers, and urban planners. We're excited to partner with Bentley to bring powerful geospatial context and capabilities that can transform how you improve how infrastructure is designed, built, and operated with data.
I got a million ideas already popping up in my mind about what we could do with all of that data. This is really exciting, and I believe this will significantly improve our users' design, build, and operate infrastructure, and as well accelerated our development roadmaps and community, right? So thank you again, and we're delighted to have you join the effort.
Thank you. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, thank you. Now let's get a little bit more concrete and we'll show you how our strategy and platform is being implemented in our products. And for that, I'd like to invite on stage our Chief Product Officer, Mike Campbell.
Thank you, Julian, and to Patrick and the entire Cesium community, welcome to Bentley. To everybody here in the room and joining us on the live stream, welcome to our discussion about making the right connections. We know that the infrastructure world is complex and frankly, it's often disconnected. And to make our existing systems more resilient and adaptable to population growth and climate change, we need to connect people and data. And the way that we do that is with an infrastructure digital twin, or as we'll sometimes say, an iTwin. Now, an iTwin uses relevant and meaningful data in order to drive meaningful outcomes across the infrastructure lifecycle. And that data, as you can see, may include geospatial information, site scans, design models, construction schedules and costs, IoT and inspection data, all managed and orchestrated together in a single representation. This is why openness is so important to our strategy. Sure, Bentley products create and manage a lot of this data, but much of it exists in many other systems. And the goal, of course, is not to duplicate that data, but to embrace a federated approach, connect it all together with an iTwin. And should any of that data in an iTwin ever be needed for something else in another system, it's always got to be accessible. As Nicholas said, after all, your data is your data, always. So this is why open standards and open source approaches and open APIs are foundational to our strategy. Also, as you'll see today, the workflows to create and curate and manage and leverage these iTwins, they've got to be intuitive. They've got to be natural and seamless and as transparent as creating files has been in the past. So that's why 2 years ago, we explained that we were going to evolve our entire product portfolio to leverage iTwins to support these data-centric workflows. And now, 2 years in, let's take a look where we stand. We're going to take a tour today across the broad Bentley portfolio. And we're going to start with our design and engineering offerings, the Bentley open applications. But before I begin, you'll recall that in 2022, Keith Bentley outlined the next phase of our iTwin strategy. Now, at that point, the first phase was well underway. First phase involved establishing the platform and incorporating it into our enterprise systems. But Keith described the next phase as bringing iTwin to the open applications. And that is exactly the strategy that we've been executing. Embracing data centricity to streamline the flow of information while remaining file friendly. We're doing so by gradually incorporating valuable iTwin-based capabilities into our existing offerings, tools you know, MicroStation and Open Roads. And at the same time, we're delivering new offerings that are built from the ground up to be iTwin native. And we're going to begin the tour with an example of exactly that. It's a new offering. It's an Electron app like Slack or Visual Studio, and it runs on the desktop. So it takes advantage of the local compute resources, and it's super responsive. But it also has cloud qualities, takes advantage of cloud services, and it's, for example, it's always up to date. And it's iTwin native, which therefore makes it data-centric, positioning it very, very well to take full advantage of AI. You ready? All right. Organizations in every industry are exploring AI, and as Nicholas said, infrastructure is no exception. And AI isn't new to users of Bentley software. We've been using it for years for computer vision applications, for asset assessment and inspections. But now we're entering a new generation of generative AI. So to talk more about generative AI and our newest offering for infrastructure design, please join me in welcoming to the stage Francois Valois.
Good morning, Mike, and thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Canada. Bienvenue, Canada, my own country. So it's a real pleasure to have you here. It's amazing. In a sector facing resource shortage and a lot of backlog, backing up, we need to use AI to really boost efficiency. We need to let professionals, have the time to focus on the real challenges ahead of them. At Bentley, we see AI as a tool to augment professionals, not to replace them. Our strategy at Bentley is to connect infrastructure data with the engineering context to really elevate what professionals can do. The iTwin platform itself, as many have said before, is built around that, connecting a vast amount of data and allowing it to provide insights, connecting it to the context of engineering, applying logic to provide greater outcome to the professionals out there. So last year, we told you we were researching generative AI inside design. Remember that?
I do.
Yeah. And we've been working with a number of amazing partners that have been here to help us. And I'm happy to introduce, it's my honor to introduce one of the youngest of all, my good friend, Joe Viscuso from Bentley. Welcome to the infrastructure, Joe. Tell us more about you and Bentley.
Sure. I've always been passionate about technology. For example, when CAD was first introduced, I had a passion for it. And a lot of folks said it wouldn't work for civil engineers. And look where we are today, right? And my role at Pannoni is to leverage these new technologies, AI being one of them, to find ways to keep us at the forefront of these emerging technologies for better project delivery.
Yeah, that's amazing. So as we talk about using AI in engineering, Joe, what do you think about the current state of AI and the future of it in your domain? You know?
So I've heard it said that AI is like a teenager. It has good days and bad days, and I think that's true. But I think that we're finding amazing ways to use it. One of the ways, for example, is with road analysis. Road analysis in the past has been a very subjective analysis, eyes on the road. With AI, we're able to bring it into, to take videos, bring them into the algorithms and create a very objective delivery for our clients.
And Joe, what are some of the challenges in site engineering specifically that you think generative AI can help with?
Well, I think we're having problems today with employees. It was said earlier, right? The industry is starving for employees, both at the graduate level and the middle management level. So to me, AI will provide the ability to do more with less, but actually do it more accurately at the end of the day. And I think that will be a big advancement for our industry.
Yeah, great. So Francois, tell us about some of the work that the team at Pannoni and the team at Bentley have been working on.
Yeah, absolutely. So my team and I have been truly dreaming about building a product like I'm going to show you here today for years. It's just amazing. You gotta love it. This is why I'm happy and excited and proud to introduce the OpenSite Plus. It's our next generation product built around digital twin and AI power. It goes from concept to final design. OpenSite Plus offers co-pilot experiences, site layout optimization, as well as automated drawing production, and much more. Do you want to see it?
Yes.
Yeah, let's see it. In this scenario, essentially, I'm going to have to design with you, hopefully, this hotel site around nearby the international airport in North Carolina. So let's start. Let's start by looking at it inside our iTwin, inside the infrastructure cloud, so we can see the vast context where we have to work in. Now, flipping inside OpenSite Plus, we can easily create new projects, bring relevant data, and forming that digital twin, including GIS data from Esri, Google Maps, and terrain information using Open Standard. In this project, we'll be incorporating 3D cesium tiles from the wall terrain, parcels from Esri, Google Map, building footprints from CAD files, and also the roadway design. So bringing all that data together easily. Now that the context is established, we can start designing. We will use the co-pilot to help us all along the way. We'll leverage our own organizational specific documentations to figure out whether we can do things in this area to help us really understand what's there and what's possible. Understand the context, if you like. So we can ask questions like, can I build an hotel in this area? Of course, easy, right? Gives you the answer. It reads the documents and figures this out. This is all within the secure co-pilot. With confirmation that, oh, and then also, by the way, it helps the engineer figure out where that answer came from. Understanding all that, we can start leveraging our next generation, very intuitive tools to start designing roadways, parking lots, buildings, and so on, to really quickly create our design. However, the co-pilot not only understands the documents, it also understands what we have in front of us, our design. So we can ask other questions. How many parkings do I have? And do I have enough parkings to meet my requirements, the zoning and my design requirement? So at this stage, we don't quite know whether our layout is optimal. So we built a neural network that is very powerful, looking at thousands of alternatives to figure out which one might be the best layout, optimizing our cost, and also respecting our engineering requirements. So it provides these three options here, which are among the best, which I can apply to my design and use. But it's not all. Essentially, the co-pilot also can modify the design. So I can do all kinds of things like change the parking width, the parking depth, and the angles, all that, intuitively by actually talking to it, not only typing. This is just unbelievable, right? So notice also that I'm very polite with my AI because it gives you better result like that. I don't know why. There's a little something that tells me I should be polite with AI. So joking aside, interacting with a co-pilot, and making automatic changes very precisely and easily is a game changer. Well, hold on. Okay, just time out. Okay, let's wait a minute. So, do you realize what you just did here in a few seconds in front of you? So essentially we did design, we validated it, we checked the context, and we made changes by talking to it. It's not a toy, right? You now have another way to input in the computer. It's just awesome. But it's not all. It's not the end of it. So OpenSite offers also AI-powered artwork optimization. So you can grade that site super easy and fast. It takes a lot of time before to do that. OpenSite Plus also simplifies the stormwater management. We need to know where that water is going to go in our site. So we've embedded our OpenFlows engine in this, right in there, to avoid data loss by transferring different softwares. And so it can model different types of things like the ponds, the structures, and all of these complex objects super rapidly and easily. But that's not all either. Sorry. According to our key accounts, the next capability is the most powerful. Maybe a little less sexy than 3D and talking to a co-pilot, but the most powerful and the most useful. So now that we've essentially assembled the context, designed everything, we need to create our deliverables. Drawing production takes up to 50% of any site design project. That's a lot of time. We created a neural network that basically eliminates that task completely, make it seamless to do things super simply. The AI-generated text is essentially standard compliant, respecting legibility and aesthetics. This is not possible without AI, by the way. You need AI to do that. So it's instant, super fast, and instead of hours or days, the results are just unbelievable. And by the way, we're introducing that in OpenSite Plus, but we expand that in the future in other products. Just unbelievable. So in closing, the OpenSite Plus is our next generation product built entirely on the brand new platform iTwin. It provides new level of productivity from concept to final design to digital delivery. Remember, we have a 3D model right there as well. And all of this is AI powered through the co-pilot, checking standards, interacting with it, using natural language, using my voice. Plus, it's automatic drawing. What else do you need, right? Pretty cool, right?
Well, I think it's pretty cool. But more importantly, Joe, what do you think?
Well, I think it's a game changer, right? The ability to in the past for site design, we have to move from platform to platform. This will put everything we need in one platform, moving seamlessly through our drawing sets and creations. And I think that this will help keep firms like us at the forefront of technology. And again, more importantly, in project delivery.
Excellent, excellent. Well, Joe, thanks a lot for sharing your experience and your insights. And Francois, thank you and the team for the great work done here.
Thank you, and thanks everyone.
So we're targeting a limited availability of OpenSite Plus. It's coming out very soon. If you're interested in participating in the early access program, you can scan the QR code here and join that program, get an early look at it before it's available in the market. You should also keep in mind that OpenSite Plus is relevant for all infrastructure sectors. It's relevant for water, energy, transportation use cases, and it's a clear example of how iTwin native AI-powered applications will assist engineers and really help them with their work. And it's also just the first example of how Bentley open applications will take advantage of generative AI. Now, let's shift our focus and move on to MicroStation, the CAD system that put Bentley on the map and has been a cornerstone of our success for all these years. I'm excited to introduce to you MicroStation 2024, which builds on Keith Bentley's vision. Now powered by the iTwin platform, MicroStation 2024 brings powerful new capabilities to help infrastructure professionals design at scale and in context. As you're about to see, users can now create digital twins seamlessly as a natural part of their design work. They'll be able to reference geospatial context much more easily, and also collaborate ad hoc and in real time. So to tell us more, please welcome Suzanne Trersheid.
Thanks, Mike. It's great to be here. Over the last 12 months, the MicroStation team has been focused on streamlining a number of crucial workflows. Building on our legacy, we've combined desktop features with iTwin cloud services within Bentley Open Applications. And this makes it easier than ever for teams to collaborate on projects of any size. There are three things I want to highlight today: enhanced GIS integration, Python scripting support, and iTwin-enabled collaboration workflows. So, first, let's look at our improved GIS features using the same airport digital twin from the last demo. MicroStation 2024 now seamlessly integrates real-time GIS data into design models, embedding geospatial context into workflows from the very start. With GIS data, MicroStation users can better understand the design environment with access to information like infrastructure details, hazardous areas, soil and water conditions, and regulatory boundaries. Plus, with tools like S3 ArcGIS REST services, satellite imagery, and 3D reality meshes, you can ensure you're making the best decisions at every step. Next, I am thrilled to announce that MicroStation 2024 now supports Python scripting capabilities and the language. It's perfect for automating workflows and exploring generative design. It works seamlessly with large language models and environments like Visual Studio Code. We've included over 60 existing Python samples, and there's also a huge open source GitHub repository to tap into. You can also access hundreds of thousands of open source public libraries to review design options, speed up learning, and avoid having to write complex code from scratch. Here you can see Python and an open source library generating multiple designs to make sure you have the best option for your facade. And this unlocks endless possibilities for expanding MicroStation's capabilities, including the integration of large language models and generative AI. Now, using a large language model trained on our Python library, we have written a prompt that enables us to instantly understand the different properties of the colored glass. Outputting the result to an Excel spreadsheet, this will save us considerable time analyzing this complex structure. Well, infrastructure design is complex. It often requires multiple teams to work together, and we know that ProjectWise is great for that. But what about those ad hoc, in-the-moment collaborations? And that brings me to a third announcement, iTwin-enabled collaboration. Imagine seeing everyone's design changes in real time. With MicroStation 2024, that is now possible. It makes teamwork faster and more seamless. So here, a designer and a structural engineer collaborating, and because these applications are seamlessly linked via the iTwin platform cloud services, the design data is automatically updated in the iTwin. At the same time, the structural engineer prepares their data for synchronization, and before transferring this to the iTwin, the engineer checks for any recent updates and downloads the latest version. This creates a visual comparison of pending changes with the current status updates. Once satisfied, only the actual delta is uploaded to the iTwin, and this makes the transfer incredibly fast and efficient. And because the digital twin is always up to date, the designer can instantly see these changes while working in MicroStation directly from their desktop. So individuals and teams can shorten feedback loops, reduce errors, and ultimately make better decisions thanks to these new capabilities. We're constantly improving this process in MicroStation and plan to extend these features to other modeling applications soon, so stay tuned. Each of these new capabilities is designed to boost efficiency, cut down delays, and deliver better results with less effort. And the best part? Well, the GIS improvements and the Python supports are live right now in the latest release. And the collaboration workflows are available in an early access program, which you are more than welcome to join.
Suzanne, thank you very much. Great news.
Thanks, Mike.
So now we're going to shift our focus from design and engineering, and we're going to move on to the operations phase of the life cycle. And this is where, as Nicholas mentioned earlier, Bentley Asset Analytics plays a key role in combining existing products and solutions that we have today with brand new innovations and recent acquisitions. Using AI, it leverages data and analytics to ensure that assets remain safe, reliable, and resilient. This approach is especially important for critical infrastructure like bridges and dams, where monitoring and maintenance are key to ensuring long-term safety and performance. And most owner-operators are responsible for massive swaths of infrastructure, covering tens of thousands of kilometers or tens of thousands of individual assets even. And capturing and analyzing that asset data and linking it to operations and maintenance workflows is essential to making things run smoothly. But of course, that requires time and it requires a lot of resources, something that they're very short on. So to talk more about Bentley Asset Analytics and how it can tackle these challenges, please join me in welcoming to the stage Mike Schalhaes.
So I started out, for God knows where.
Welcome, Mike.
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here.
I guess I
Great to have you here. So tell us about the advances that we're making in this area.
Yeah, sure. First, let's focus on Blyncsy and their roadway asset and condition capabilities. Blyncsy is a roadway insights platform that uses crowdsourced image data collection combined with powerful machine learning models. Roadway networks are large and complex, with a massive inventory to manage. Things like lane markings, signage, lighting, guardrails, impact attenuators, and so much more. And while AI can help analyze asset conditions and prioritize maintenance, many transportation departments need a solid inventory first. Blynksy's real-time, crowdsourced asset inventory technology offers a fast and accurate way for departments to build and constantly maintain that inventory at any scale.
So once they have that data all collected, then they can use AI to drive insights.
That's right. Exactly. AI can help identify roadside assets and assess their conditions, everything from a broken stop sign to a faulty street light to a fresh pothole. The technology helps DOTs prioritize safety and efficiency and spend more time fixing problems instead of finding them. These insights feed directly into the infrastructure digital twin, the iTwin, and are presented in iTwin Experience to show the latest conditions in context. We estimate this automated technology cuts inspection times by up to 90%. This requires fewer resources and truck rolls, and in some cases allows for inspections that couldn't otherwise happen.
What transportation departments are using Blyncsy today?
Yeah, so right now we're partnering with the city of Fort Worth, Texas to automate inspections for streetlights, road signs, and paint lines. And additionally, we're working with the Alaska Department of Transportation to conduct weekly inspections in their major cities. This includes detecting roadway issues such as pavement conditions, guardrail damage, sign inventory, snow removal, and much more. And Blynksy's technology goes beyond just asset inventory and damage detection. It also helps DOTs comply with federal regulations as well.
And how about beyond transportation? What other sectors can benefit from these kinds of approaches?
Absolutely. The other industry we're looking at here is telecommunications. It's another industry that they're facing challenges with data accuracy, collaboration, and asset assessment. For today's tower owners and operators, verifying and maintaining asset inventory and conditions can be a significant burden. Many telecom operators lack the reliable information about their assets, leading to higher project costs and delays. And the problem is compounded by data silos among stakeholders, which create barriers to collaboration. When you consider the hundreds of thousands of towers out there, it becomes a complex issue to tackle. And relying on manual inspections strains resources, takes too long, and it risks employee safety. Open Tower IQ
addresses these challenges by using imagery captured by drones and other data sources to automate every stage of the tower lifecycle. This includes data acquisition, visualization, planning, structural analysis, site design, engineering, maintenance, and approvals. And like Blyncsy, Open Tower IQ leverages AI to identify towers and assess any issues that could affect their operability. Demand for creating these iTwins is so high that in the past year, we've been able to automate asset inventory and equipment detection for over 25,000 towers, which represents over 17% of the cell towers in the United States. And we're seeing growing demand internationally as well.
That's great. Mike, thank you very much for telling us about these advances. And this is a key focus area for us at Bentley and really demonstrates our commitment to brownfield asset resiliency. So thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Underpinning all of these applications that we've been talking about and many more, and connecting people and data across the life cycle is Bentley Infrastructure Cloud. And here is where we're leveraging the iTwin platform to advance our enterprise offerings to seamlessly connect project and asset information management. We're enabling data-centric workflows, and we're doing that all with a consistent and intuitive user experience. So to talk more about some of the new capabilities in Bentley Infrastructure Cloud, specifically focused on sustainability, please join me in welcoming Chris Bradshaw.
Thanks, Mike. I'm super excited to be here this morning. We have a super exciting announcement. You know, these days, sustainable development isn't just a buzzword. It's essential for anyone working in infrastructure. And frankly, it goes beyond making things greener and more eco-friendly. It's really about balancing economic, environment, and social outcomes across the entire project for all stakeholders. And a digital twin, an iTwin, is perfectly suited to inform all stakeholders of the trade-offs between those outcomes. Life cycle assessments and environmental footprint analyses are now standard practice across the globe, ensuring projects are delivered with sustainability and positive social impact. With new carbon accounting regulations in both America and in Europe, transparency is now essential. To help infrastructure professionals meet those requirements and challenges, we're excited to announce a new capability called carbon analysis. To discuss carbon reporting and his experience with these new capabilities, please welcome to the stage Kelvin Saldana from WSP. So Kelvin, WSP is a leader in environment and sustainable design projects all around the world. What do you consider to be some of the biggest challenges in carbon calculation and reporting?
Well, firstly, Chris, thank you for having me. It's great to be here with you today. Right now, there are a lot of companies offering a broad range of solutions for carbon calculation and reporting. So one major challenge that we've got is just the wide variety of methods and tools that are available to calculate embodied carbon, which can really make the whole process very opaque to the design team, since reports are usually generated by carbon specialists, and they can vary in quality depending on the project lifecycle stage. So because of that, sometimes the project's carbon score can feel like a little bit of guesswork, though standards like the BSI's PAS 2080 are helping with that. Another key challenge that we've got is that there are oftentimes a large amount of time required to calculate carbon once you are ready to undertake carbon measurements. It needs to go through a very rigorous quantity takeoff process and including design compilation and data cleansing before that data can actually be used in a piece of third-party software. So A lot of times that delay means that the design team doesn't know what the carbon score is until the design's very mature, and you kind of miss the opportunity to reduce your carbon score because you can have the most meaningful impact if you attempt to do that early on in the project's design cycle.
Right, completely. So I heard opacity, guesswork, and a lot of time, and the timing not being ideal. All huge challenges.
Yeah.
So WSP, and you in particular, have been had access to the carbon analysis capability through our early access program. What are some of the benefits and values you've seen in your use of this new capability?
Well, with iTwin carbon analysis, I think one of the greatest advantages is that the design team gains transparency into carbon calculations like never before. Continuous calculations during the design process really allow for accurate carbon reports to be generated much earlier in the project lifecycle. And so, because reporting is just a click away, updates to the design model can instantly show their impact on the carbon footprint of your project. And that reduces the feedback loop to the design team down from usually weeks to a matter of days. But I think what really sets carbon analysis apart is its fantastic visualization capabilities. Instead of having to sift through spreadsheets and tables, designers can now exchange data directly with EC3, view 3D heat maps, and interact with them to quickly identify where they've got carbon-intensive features on their project, and then they can target those. This really simplifies reporting and makes the entire carbon reporting process more accessible to the project stakeholders and the design team, and it facilitates exploring alternative options, materials or construction methods. And that level of insight really allows us to make small adjustments early on and throughout the design process, which leads to significant progress towards our shared net zero vision. So we really think that this offering is a paradigm shift in the way that we manage carbon on our projects.
Great. Well, fantastic. Well, listen, we've talked a lot about it. You've heard about it. Perhaps we should show you a little bit this new capability. So without further ado, let me show you exactly what we've been talking about here. So first up, carbon analysis creates a list of all the materials and their corresponding quantities in the iTwin, essentially a quantity takeoff. It performs and generates a bill of materials for all the elements within the design. It also helps you visualize all materials and their quantities in the design so you can see what's where. In the demo, you can see the color coding of material and quantity data being automatically prepared. Carbon analysis uses intelligent grouping for common design elements, helping you quickly fill in materials and volumes that might be missing from some of the design files. Because the data is stored in an iTwin, as updates are made, your design evolves and you're always working with the latest information. Now, step 2, we have to create the reports. So carbon analysis takes that compilation of all the design and material data and sends it directly to your chosen lifecycle assessment tool, like EC3 in this example. From there, you can log in to adjust material selections based on raw material providers and project specifics. This means you can quickly link the project stage embodied carbon footprint directly to your design and material choices, and those impacts, and see those impacts during different phases of the project. This streamlined process just takes a few minutes, and makes generating accurate carbon assessments much easier and faster, as Kelvin talked about. Finally, as he also talked about, visualizing and understanding the embodied carbon footprint is hard when you're dealing with spreadsheets and tables. Carbon analysis provides a 3D heat map that is rendered as a part of your model. This helps designers and engineers quickly identify if a design component or building material are relatively carbon intensive. Visualizing product stage embodied carbon means that designers and engineers can easily and quickly explore alternative design options and building materials to reduce the carbon score and footprint. Visualization also supports how designers and engineers communicate the trade-offs between carbon and other constraints like cost and schedule, to other stakeholders who may not be as good at reading Excel spreadsheets and tables, like me. As they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So, this is the power of carbon analysis. It delivers fast, easy computation of embodied carbon to help engineers minimize carbon and understand the trade-offs of those reductions. What makes this even more powerful is that it's fully open on both ends. Carbon analysis supports over 30 mainstream design file formats within iTwin. It also integrates with any lifecycle assessment tool, ensuring flexibility and ease of use within your workflow. And in line with Bentley's commitment to sustainability, I'm excited to announce that starting today, these new carbon analysis capabilities are available in iTwin Experience at no additional cost. Thank you, Mike.
That's fantastic news, Chris. Thank you, and Kelvin for sharing all of that. That's wonderful. Now let's dig a little bit deeper into Bentley Infrastructure Cloud, and we're going to talk a little bit how it's transforming the industry, transforming workflows, really by connecting people and data throughout the life cycle. And in order to help us understand this, I'd like to welcome Oliver Consley to the stage.
I want to get away. I want to fly away. Yeah.
Great to have you here, Oliver. So handovers between design, construction, and operations often lead to lost information and gaps in the process that can really impact a project's success. But we're seeing movement in the infrastructure sector. They're moving from traditional file-based 2D workflows to more and more 3D, more and more 4D, more and more digital twin-centric approaches. So what's been going on in Bentley Infrastructure Cloud that can help in that process?
So for years, our solutions have helped users to manage engineering data across all phases of the infrastructure lifecycle. With our products, with ProjectWise, with Synchro, with AssetsWise, we're doing this. Now with Bentley Infrastructure Cloud, we're elevating this, we're evolving these products, and we're continuing to break through these barriers for a more seamless exchange of information. And how we're doing this? The key has been our data-centric approach, where the digital twin really becomes the underpinning, really the unifier that connects people and data. And that allows and enables a much more continuous collaboration across the lifecycle, more sharing of data, and that makes sure that the right data is available to the right people at the right time. That leads to better, much faster decisions, and ultimately better infrastructure outcomes. Now, let me share with you 3 examples how we're breaking through these barriers between design and construction. And first, I want to talk about integrated design build projects, which we just launched last month. We're bringing together the capabilities of ProjectWise and of Synchro in a unified portal of Bentley Infrastructure Cloud. So this allows you now to do your digital deliverables management alongside your 3D planning and scheduling. So this really makes it much more easier to set up, to manage your projects, where you have now the combined teams of design, of construction, all working in one common project environment and all working off the same digital twin underneath. So could we, that demo, let's go one chart back. I can jump to that demo in a minute, but so all project teams working at the same project environment as I want to close with a design build project. And I think a great example how this drives business value are integrated design and constructability reviews. And they really help to improve and reduce feedback loops and rework cycles. Now, the second example, where we saw a preview just a minute ago already of the demo, is how we're bringing actually the power of 3D models, new technologies, to actually where the users are today. And oftentimes they are still in their very familiar environment of 2D, 2D sheets. And what you see in this demo here is how we put the 2D sheeting alongside the 3D models. You can navigate both ways bidirectionally, so it's really whatever is comfortable for you. But ultimately, if you have a cross-section, if you need to add a missing annotation, as in this demo here, you have the rich data of both a 2D sheet, of the 3D model. You use configurable forms to assess and submit this information, and all that written information is provided for the follow-up processes. So it's really an example how we bring new methods, new technology to where our users are today, and making that adoption of 3D models and data-centric workflow a lot easier. The third example I want to provide is how we bring the power of digital twins to our users to the field, to the mobile devices, in particular relevant for construction. So our mobile app is now available for all the design and build projects I mentioned. For instance, users can now enhance their models with real-time insights from on-site site conditions and log issues on the go. And that really helps to resolve problems much more quickly. Plus, the app works in offline mode. So even if there is poor internet connectivity, you can always rely on Bentley Infrastructure Cloud. So with these three examples, you can see how iTwins make digital delivery easier and more effective for our users, whether they prefer 3D or 2D, whether they're working on the desktop, on the web, or on the mobile. Bentley Infrastructure Cloud connects people and data throughout the entire lifecycle, and we're doing this by driving towards a coherent data foundation and a coherent user experience. And all this with digital twins serving as the foundation. This enhances visibility into projects and assets and improves collaboration, and ultimately leads to better project outcomes and asset performance.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Oliver. Great examples of Bentley Infrastructure Cloud helping to make the right connections. Okay, as we wrap up, I've got one more exciting announcement to share with you. We're working on a brand new advanced visualization capability. This has been built to address the challenges of creating immersive, interactive, photorealistic ways to experience infrastructure. It's iTwin native, presents all of the relevant data that you would need. It leverages Epic Games' Unreal Engine, and it's beautiful. To give us a deeper look, please join me in welcoming to the stage Greg Demchak.
Cool, thanks to wrap up here. Thanks, Mike. So talk a little bit about advanced visualization. As you know, anyone who's experienced this before with existing tools, producing advanced visualization with current tools is often cumbersome. It's a complicated pipeline, lots of rework, lots of changes to materials, to lighting, to setting up keyframes and cameras, then exporting to rendering or video. And of course, after you've gone through that whole process, well, the design has already changed and you're back to the drawing board. You have to reboot the whole process. So that's why we're developing a new solution that addresses all of those problems. But more than that, actually reinvents or rethinks the whole visualization pipeline from the ground up. So that's what we're excited to sort of show today. So this new solution that we developed is purpose-built from the ground up to deliver superior real-time rendered experience that will empower you to explore, enhance, and experience your projects like never before. So let's move into this, advanced visualization. Let's talk about Explore first. One of the big pain points is just, can I actually explore and navigate a complicated model with ease? So we have a lot of users building detailed 3D and 4D models. With this solution, using the open standard cesium 3D tiles, we're now enabling users to effortlessly move through and navigate these complex models. Just imagine the power of instant visualization and insights at your fingertips, always on. So now let's look at Enhance, another thing that's quite popular. We know it's crucial to create more immersive, realistic environments that help tell your story and resonate with your shareholders. But adding that extra layer of detail is often complicated, and cumbersome. This solution will allow you to easily enrich your scenes and provide more context and content. Context in the form of Google 3D tiles, which are now enabled in this application, and content in the form of easy to place trees, cars, scale figures, and equipment. So we believe with this control, all of this being rendered and driven under the hood by Unreal Engine will allow you to create these photorealistic visual experiences that will make your designs not just visible, but truly compelling. And now let's go to the last point, experience, right? Delivering and sharing your project information shouldn't be a bottleneck. You shouldn't be encumbered by the tools. And yet that's often the case. With this new tool, you're actually able to connect in real time to your live iTwin, getting the latest information at runtime with no delay. This allows you to quickly set up and craft and share engaging, curated narrative experiences that persist in the server and can be shared with your stakeholders at any time. So with this advanced visualization solution that we're developing, we think this will definitely help people explore, enhance, and experience their digital twins much more faster and much more efficiently than they've ever been able to do before. So to see this live in action, we're gonna try and do a live demo here. I've got Jeff Campbell, who's live in the iLab right now. Let's see if we can pipe Jeff in. And there's Jeff. Jeff is someone I've worked with for many years. He's been actually testing and using this software on his project in Portland, Oregon. Hey, Jeff, how's it going?
Hi, Greg. How you doing?
Good to see you, man. All right, so tell us, what have you got over there in the iLab?
Greg, it's great to work with you again. I'm reporting from the iLab, running the latest build of Bentley's advanced visualization solution. For the past few months, we've been testing it and providing feedback, and I could tell you it's pretty slick. Portland Water Bureau asked us to work with Bentley to provide cutting-edge visualizations to manage the progress of the Bull Run water filtration project. With these new capabilities, we can navigate this huge project, view the Synchro 4D sequence, set up cameras, turn on Google 3D tiles, and even add equipment directly into the scene. We are currently working live with this digital twin to provide Portland Water Bureau and the Mayor of Portland high-fidelity, real-time situational awareness. Come try it for yourself here at the iLab Immersive Experience. Back to you, Mike and Greg.
Cool, thanks, Jeff. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff and Greg. So whether you're looking for an out-of-the-box solution or you're looking for a flexible platform to build custom applications, this is the future of infrastructure visualization. Now, we're still working on this new capability, and we expect to deliver it next year, but you're all invited to join an early access program. Folks in the room can visit the iLab down the hall today. You can actually see it in action using your own iTwins. You can have that kind of an experience. And certainly learn more about the early access program. And we're really excited to see how this technology will transform the way that you visualize and experience your infrastructure projects. So, as we close, consider this. 40 years ago, Bentley Systems launched with a vision to transform infrastructure. And today, we continue to lead the way by helping you make the right connections using the power of openness and AI-powered digital twins. The next chapter is ours to write, and we look forward to all that's ahead in advancing the world's infrastructure for better quality of life. We're so excited to have you on this journey with us, and we can't wait to see the impact that we'll make together. On behalf of everybody at Bentley Systems here today, thank you very much for your time, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your infrastructure.